Good day, everyone. Our subject for today is aviation safety and human factors. Human factors focus into issues affecting how people do their job and a look at how this affects aviation industry. It is essential to learn human factors because this contributes to a majority of aircraft accidents. For the introduction, Ms. Costales, Mr. Dimara, Ms. Gube, Ms. Ilaw, Mr. Salamading, and Mr. Wee will be the reporters for this discussion. The goal of this discussion is to gain knowledge about the factors that affect people aviation maintenance. As reporters, our role is to keep the discussion on track and to ensure everyone listens to the discussion. As part of the human factors, we will be focusing on the PEAR model. Application of the memory aid PEAR, PEAR, makes recognition and mitigation of human factors even easier. On the next slides, we will recall the four considerations for assessing and mitigating human factors in aviation maintenance. PEAR has been used as a mnemonic for over a decade to characterize human factors in aviation maintenance. The study and application of human factors comprises a wide variety of concepts. However, from a practical perspective, having a unified vision or a pattern of the aspects we should be thinking about when it comes to aviation maintenance, human factors is greatly useful. Human factors programs help minimize errors and complement the design of safety management system, or the SMS. Aviation human factors programs focus on the people who perform the work, addressing their physical capabilities, mental state, cognitive capacity, and conditions that may affect interactions.
The PEAR model reminds everyone of the four most significant human factors program considerations, which are people who do the job, environment in which they work, actions they perform, and resources necessary to complete the job. Physical factors refers to the fitness, abilities, and approaches. These can have a variety of effects in the performance. Physiological factors include how people feel, their physical health, their levels of fatigue at the time of learning, as well as the quality of food and drink they eat. When we talk about psychological factors, we are talking about the mind's working, motivation, learning, and socialization, attitudes and values that affects people's decision, stress, anger, hopelessness, and work management are all psychosocial factors that seem to be linked to the physical and mental health. In terms of psychosocial factors, negative individual risk seems to be linked to common human disadvantages. These factors under the people who do the job will be more elaborated by the next reporter.
Hello everyone, I am Isis Sui and I'm going to discuss to you physical factors. Physical factors. In most cases, human factor programs are designed around the people in a company's existing workforce. One cannot apply identical strength, physical size, endurance, experience, motivation, and certification standard equally to all employees, and the company must watch the physical characteristic of each person to the task they perform. A company must consider factors such as each person's size, strength, gender, age, and the sensory limitation which are the eyesight and more. To ensure that they are physically capable of performing all of the tasks that make up for the job, annual vision and hearing tests, in combination, are excellent preventive measures for attaining better human physical performance. A good human factor program will consider the limitation of human and design the job accordingly.
Physiological factors. their workers. Many businesses have decreased sick leave and improved productivity, causing the employees not to experience any fatigue. This is also to ensure that physical activity and a healthy lifestyle are achieved properly. Many work environments can cause physical and mental exhaustion. Significant break and rest times would ensure that the task pressure does not overwhelm their capabilities. Companies should also have programs to address issues associated with chemical dependence, including tobacco, alcohol, which is also related to the letter E for environment, is ensuring that good lighting is accessible for the job, especially for older employees. Companies should do everything possible to promote physical and emotional well-being.
My name is Jerome G. Dimaya, and we will tackle about psychological factors. What is psychological factors? The psychological factors are the factors that talk about the psychology of an individual that drives his action to seek satisfaction. Psychological factors influence one's decision and capability of doing a specific task, such as depression, mood disorder, anxiety, health, lifestyle, etc. Planned rest breaks are an important part of integrating human factors into job design. Employees deserve a rest break after accomplishing all their workload and also to relax their mental or emotional state. Another people's issue involves teamwork and communication. Safe and efficient companies find way to foster communication and cooperation among the workers, managers, and owners. In this way, employees also improve and attain a good attitude while working. For example, workers should be rewarded for finding ways to improve the system, eliminate waste, and help ensure continuing safety. By continuous training, employees are helped by not forgetting what is really their job and limitation. And also, they are gaining more knowledge and collaborating with their co-employees, which include teamwork and communication. So there are different kinds of psychological factors that can affect human behaviors or situations in aviation industry. The following are pressure, confidence or trust, motivation, and etc. So I will only discuss 3 of the following factors. First is pressure. Pressure, whether imposed from above or self-imposed, because of a perception generated the prevailing business culture to put greater emphasis on efficiency, output, or continued production ahead of operational safety has been causal factor in many catastrophic accidents in various industries. So, the second one is confidence or trust. The whole aviation operational system relies on trust. It goes without saying that without trusting passengers, there would be no commercial business. Passenger trust, of course, is built on evidence. Evidence that aviation is the safest form of transport and that while accidents do happen, they are now rare events. Passengers trust professionals. For example, some governments, aircraft manufacturers, airlines, pilots, engineers, air traffic controllers, and etc. to do their jobs professionally and reliably. They have no further need to understand how they can safely transported from A to B. I apologize for my yawn. The third and last one is motivation, means the encouragement by various means and modes that lead to the performance enhancement of employees in an organization. Motivation is an important part for the success of any organization because motivated employees are more productive than the demotivated one. Work motivation is very much required for the service industry to make the effective and integrated approach for the customer satisfaction. This will only be possible when the employees will be working effectively. The employee effectiveness comes from the satisfaction and passion. That passion will only be grown and encouraged by the motivation factor among the employees. So, for my example of a psychological factor is the movie Flight, which was released in 2012, wherein the main character there is a pilot. He uses cocaine or drugs, maybe, I don't know what that is, but it's kind of other drugs to make yourself high before his flight. And because of that, his mental state is high and he is calmer than ever. Trust me. There was an accident in the aircraft that the main character flies. Because he is too high, he does not mind the problem at all, but keeps on being calm. And because of the drugs, he has an amazing decision making on what to do for them to survive before the plane crash. And because of the actions that he did, all the passengers, including the crew, nobody died that day. Imagine that. So, what I'm trying to say is that the psychological factors that are included are his experience in work because of his performance that day. Nobody died that day. And the training that he learned. His mental state is so calm because of the drugs. And the knowledge on what to do in an emergency while flying. So that's all for the psychological factors. Again, my name is Jerome G. Dimaya. Thank you.
Good day, I'm Catherine Ilaw and I'm gonna talk about psychosocial factors. What are psychosocial factors? These are factors influences that affect a person psychologically or socially. There is a multidimensional construct encompassing different domains such as mood status, cognitive behavioral responses, and social factors. Also, psychosocial factors may include interpersonal conflicts, financial hardship, and recently burst. Some mental states, personality characteristics of the social environment with a negative effect are the example of such causes. Psychological factors are divided into two groups. The first consists of psychological traits such as anger, depression, anxiety, hopelessness, and so on, which manifest on an individual basis and are most likely product of socialization. Example of this is anxiety. Anxiety is a feeling of worry, nervousness, or unease, often about something is going to happen, typically something with an uncertain outcome. It results from a fear of anything real or imagined, which threatens the person who experienced it. It may have a potent effect on actions and the ability to learn from perception. In aviation industry, Having an anxiety may greatly affect the work of an individual working in the field. With a fear you might do something terrible can actually affect your work. The second type is more structural, such as working conditions. Example of this is the relationship at work. The nature of relationship and social support from one's colleague, supervisors, and subordinates have been related to stress. Poor relationship with other members of the organization will be precipitated by role ambiguity in the organization, which in turn may produce psychological strain. In the case of air traffic controllers, more meaningful social support was provided by friends and colleagues than those supervisory positions. Second example is the personal stressors. Personal stressors include events occurring outside of the workplace that can affect individuals' performance at work. Events such as loss of relative, injury, or illness can greatly affect stress levels and consequently behavior at work. Smaller frustrations such as computer or car trouble can also act as stressors. These small stressors can add up over time and greatly affect the crew member performance. Next example is interpersonal conflicts. Since stress levels or stress affects behaviors, it is also affect relationship between people. In the cockpit, this situation can be critical. To negative interpersonal conflicts can develop and evolve aggressive behavior or withdrawal. Aggressive behaviors can be directed toward APC, the other pilot, or the crew of anyone else who can be blamed for what is happening. Last is financial hardship. Financial hardship is generally conceptualized as a lack of money or resources required to meet basic needs for one's life, like food, shelter, clothing, and medical care. In some studies, financial hardship can greatly affect people to do their job properly as they are not satisfied with the amount of money they receive from the work they've done. Psychosocial factors are important because they influence quality of life and development of neurological illness. Since public health spending includes both of these consequences, policy implication must be added in both. Thank you.
That sums up about the people who do the job with the peer model. Other groups will be discussing the environment, actions, and resources. Thank you for listening, and I hope you learned something new. Have a great day ahead.